Hello, my name is Andrew Douglas Sokolsky, and I am applying for the Chuan I Lu Angster Memorial Scholarship. So, why is education important? What will I use my scholarship money for? Who am I? And where have I gone? My bio. So, education is important because it gives people the chance to blaze a path. And even though millions of universities, or not millions, but at least ones I have seen, use this corny phrase that, oh, education lights your way, it opens up the tunnel, you see the light at the end. Even though it's corny, it's actually true. When you become educated, when you are able to say, I know that, a door opens. You are automatically, in a physical sense and statistical sense, that much more likely to get a job, that much more likely to be admitted into a university, that much more likely to make money, that much more likely to be able to go on a trip, that much more likely to read more books, that much more likely to have more leisure time, that much more likely to ... ad infinitum. So, in essence, the reason I believe education is important is because, as is aligned with my major that I am deciding to study in college at the new school in Eugene Lane College, economics, we need smart buyers, smart consumers, and smart producers as well. And in order to do that, education must arise. Good education. Now, what will I use my scholarship money for? After reading that the check goes straight to my school, well, I will use it for paying tuition or paying certain things at the new school. Now, what exactly, where in the budget will I specifically decide to allocate that money if given the choice and influence? Housing for this year. If I had gone in next year, it would have been for other things, because if I become an RA, I don't have to pay for housing. But this year, housing. Housing is expensive. I'm moving from Texas, so every flight is that much more. So if I can decrease housing, I could possibly take a flight home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring break, summer. I may not have to stay there. Unless I get an internship that pays, and then I would love to stay there, and I may even live there in the future. But for the time being, in the present moment, that is what I will use it for. Now, who am I? Well, I'm a Houstonian. I was born in Houston, Texas. I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm very focused, sometimes uber focused, to the extent that I see critical junctions in certain ideas, and I will not keep silent about the junction. I will purposefully tell someone, look at the railroad. There's one going this way, one going that way. Rightwards, leftwards. You can try to yaw it off to one side or the other, but in the end, this knot needs to be untied, and we need to resolve the issue. Sometimes that freaks people out. Sometimes people become frightened. Sometimes people feel as if that they are going to perish, in a sense, because they did not know what I asked them in that moment. And when I ask, I'm not necessarily drilling them and saying, hey, answer this question or you will fail in life in general. No, I'm just saying, hey, this is an observation I have. Please tell me your thoughts. Let's resolve this. And yet, I'm also very kind and very self-debasing sometimes. Sometimes to a bad extent, sometimes to a good extent, because I don't come off as a pompous, rash, and ignoble brat or snob, like I have any Tony attributes. And lastly, where have I been? What is my bio? Okay. Both of my parents are immigrants. My father is from Brazil, my mother is from Mexico. My dad's lineage goes back to Poland and Belgium. My mother's lineage goes back to Spain, the Basque Country, and Belgium, among Chile and other places. I have two half sisters from a previous marriage of my mother. Both are Mexican. My parents divorced when I was approximately 4 years old in elementary school. I've moved from school to school until my high school in St. Pius, which was a great school. I've learned a lot there. I've interned with a council member Jerry Davis of District B of Houston, Texas, if you ever want to look him up. I volunteered at the Refugee Center for Catholic Charities. I volunteered at kids' meals with the neighborhood centers. I'm currently interning at the Houston Center for Literacy as a social media director, and I am part of the Mayor's Youth Council. But further, the critical point of my bio is this. Throughout my life, I have been bullied to an extent, and that bullying, I felt entrapped as if a moss was entangling me into its lagoon. But then I was able to reach out and, in a sense, grab the sword and the stone, pull myself out of the lagoon in order to get to the rock and get a steady grip, and then pull it out and march onward into the forest in order to reach the apex or the acme or the peak of the mountain. And what I've learned is this. When there is an idea you do not know, you do know it. It's deep inside. So whenever you approach something new, admit ignorance. Admit I do not know. But also know deep inside you know it, and you're like a miner trying to find that ore of gold within the black coal, sulfurous, blinding, deafening, suffocating mine. But then you find it, and you feel, well, everything's not that bad. You find the gold, you get paid $1 million, you walk out, and now you live your whole life and you don't have to mine again. That is the acme of my world. That is the point of my bio that is most illuminating to me and to others sometimes. So why economics? Economics because I've learned that understanding myself has helped me through my own personal struggles. And in order to help myself through society, I need to understand the mechanics of society. And after reading Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations and parts of Karl Marx's Capital and John Maynard Keynes' General Theory, I tend to think this is a whole new world that was before me, wrapped in a cloak, as if it was invisible and never extant. That is why economics. New York, because I want to live on the East Coast where education is important, internationalism is abounding, and where the work ethic, the willingness, the goodwill, like Good Will Hunting, which is one of my favorite movies, is abundant and thriving. I want to live in a place where money, finance, economics, theater, culture, life in general, and understanding of the poor and the rich is all in one and is magically exuberant. Sorry if that sounded a little bit fake or skylarking, but I truly believe in expressing my thoughts to the ultimate degree. And if I am given a question, I answer it with the full force of my mind. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy my application.